Okay, this lesson is on using the area model to multiply with. So let's start with maybe 28 times 72. Okay, now one way to find the product to this is to use what's called an area model. And during this area model, we're going to break down our numbers by place value. And we're going to do them in smaller pieces and then add all those small pieces together. So I'm going to start with my 72. I'm going to break this apart using my place value knowledge. And so my 7 is in what's place? It's in the tens. So, the tens. So what is the value of this? 70, exactly, because I have 70 of them. So I'm going to put my 70 here. Now, what place is this in? It's in the ones. How many ones do I have? I only have 2. Exactly. So I'm finished with this one. Now I'm going to break apart this number here in the same way. What place is my 2 in? It's in the tens. And how many of those tens do I have? I have 2 of those. Same thing here. I have 8 ones. Now I'm going to create a little box here. And I'm going to multiply these smaller numbers together to find my grand total to this. So 20 times 70. I don't know what that is, but I do know if I cover up my 2 zeros that I do know that 2 times 7 is 14, and then I can add my 2 zeros. Now I know that 2 times 20, that's going to be 40, because if I have 2 20s, it gives me 40. Now, I know on this one, I don't know what that 8 times 70 is, but I do know that 8 times 7 is 56, and then I'm going to add my 1 0. 8 times 2 is 16. So did you see how that I multiplied these two together, these two together, these two together, and then these two together to get my partial products? So these are just pieces. Now I've got to find my grand total, which is going to be 1,400, 560, 40, and 16. You may want to use lines to help keep yours straight, because sometimes all these numbers can get confusing. Which is 6. Here's 11. And I have 10 here. And then I have a 2. So my product should be 2016. All right. Something I want you to think about is that I'm finding when we get into geometry, you're going to learn that area equals length times width. And that's one good way to remember the area model, that we're finding what's inside of this by multiplying the length times the width. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's go over one more together. Let's try this one. How about 72 times 43? Let's try that one. So I want you to pause the video right now, and I want you to set this up into your area model just like we did before, only I want you to try by yourself. So pause the video. When you think you have it complete, turn it back on and check it with mine. Okay, so I'm going to do this one the same way I did the last one. I'm going to put my 72 up here, and I'm going to start with this. What place is that in? Absolutely. The value of this place is 70. What about this one? 2. Okay, let's do the same thing over here. What's the value of this one? It's 40. So I'm going to put it here. What's the value of this number? It's 3. That's in the ones place. Now, I want you to, if you haven't already, pause the video, multiply this out. If you have already done that, then you can keep going. You're going to multiply these two, these two, these two, and these two. So if you haven't done it yet, pause it and do that now. If you're ready to go, let's get these checked. So 4 times 7, 40 times 7, I don't know what, 70, I don't know what that is. But I do know that 4 times 7 is 28, and I add my 2 zeros. 40 times 2, I know that's 80, because if I have 2 40s, that's 80. 3 times 70, I don't know what that is, but I do know that 3 times 7 is 21, and if I add that 0, And then my last is 3 times 2. I certainly know that that is 6. Let's add all of my partial quotients together. Okay, I have 6, I have 9, I have 10, and then I have 3. So my quotient, grand quotient, should be 3,096. Okay, now I want to challenge you to do some of these by yourself. I want to ask you to pause the video right when I get this set so you can see all 4 problems. And I want you to take time, do each of these using the area model. When you get finished, just raise your hand and I'll come check them, okay? Thank you.